You are listening to the Palestine in America podcast. I'm your host, Nader Ahmoud. Our guest on today's show was most recently featured on Fox's Alter Ego, but also appeared on American Idol. I'm honored to finally interview Palestinian and Jewish singer, Mama Yaya. How are you doing today?
What's up, Nader?
What's going on, dude? How is everything?
Good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, everything is good on my end.
Alhamdulillah.
It's so good to finally get to interview you. I know that we featured you in our last music edition as a Palestinian you should know, but I'm excited to have a longer form interview with you and talk to you about what you've been up to and what you have planned going forward. Let's start with, man, it must have been tough losing by 4 votes.
I'm just gonna jump right in.
Oh yeah, the heavy. In journalism school, they told us to leave the tough questions for the end, but no, I'm jumping right into it.
I'm here for it. Whatever.
And I'm not gonna lie and act like I watched every episode, but I would go watch the recaps and I would read about it. And the following day, like reading about like the specifics, like so it was a tie between the main judges, and then they had the fans vote or the audience vote, and he lost by 4 votes. What was your immediate reaction to that?
Oh, I mean, it was like, I don't even. Oh God,
it was.
I
rigged.
had the boys.
It was rigged.
Oh my God. I mean, people keep saying that, but it is what it is. Honestly, I had I had the guys. I had Will and I had Nick. And I guess the girls were just kind of feeling 7, which is totally understandable. They are absolutely incredible. But yeah, I mean, the audience, oh man, down to 4 votes. I think that it actually made me feel a little bit better about the loss, to be honest with you. Like, because if I'm gonna go out, like, at least I know.
Yeah, you went out fighting.
I went out fighting. I went out knowing that, like, okay, it was a pretty close call. Like, it could have probably had gone either way. And,
yeah, it could have been embarrassing. It could have been like a landslide. Like everybody.
Yeah, that would have been like, can you imagine? Oh my God. Yeah.
But that's cool that you took it that way. I saw what was cool about it was like you have, I mean, in our eyes from when we were growing up, some legends like being the judges. Will and Nick Lachey. Like I'm not like, gonna front like I was a huge Black Eyed Peas fan, but they held their own for years. Were you starstruck by any of the judges?
Oh my God. I mean, I am right there with you, like growing up with like Nick and Will and honestly like Alanis. Grimes, I'm gonna be totally honest with you, like I didn't really know who Grimes was until the show.
Heard about her, but I don't really know her stuff either. I'm not gonna lie.
When they told me, they're like, oh, Grimes is gonna be one of the judges, I was like, did you just call me grimy? What did you like? What? Like, what was that?
Be a grimy judge?
Yeah, because I was like, what? And then I listened and I figured out who she was. And I was like, oh, I really have heard some of her stuff. And like, I do know who she is. Like, oh my God. And so I was really excited to meet her too. But when I found out that Will was going to be a judge, I was like, oh, hell yes. Because Black Eyed Peas all day long. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love the Black Eyed Peas. Nick Lachey from 98 Degrees. I remember singing, I don't know if you remember at the end of Mulan, there was like a song with Stevie Wonder.
I literally just watched Mulan with my daughter the other day. So like,
did you really? Do you know at the end with Stevie? You know what I'm talking about? Like but it was like such a good version of the song. Oh my God, Nick was in it, and so that's how I remember Nick. Like even more so than like with Jessica Simpson and everything. Like I remember that song with Stevie at the end of Mulan, and I was like, okay, I can't wait to see Nick. But and then
was the highlight of the experience when Nick Lachey gave you that compliment, or was it something else?
The highlight of my experience. Oh my gosh. I mean, it was definitely one of the highlights for sure. Like getting the feedback from Nick, getting the feedback from all of that really, because there was a lot that didn't show, and so everything that happened with the judges, I was just like, oh my gosh, you know. Like one of the highlights was, you know, if you see at the end of Rise Up, you see the judges come up on the stage and they come to give me a hug. Yeah. So that whole experience was wild because I'm literally standing there like, they didn't really show it, but I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm here with like all the judges. Oh my God. But that was totally a highlight. I don't know though. I would say that one of the biggest highlights was like meeting all the people, like all the other contestants and all the people behind the show, all the people that you don't really know and that you see. Yeah. Like, you know, Adam Blackstone is the music director for the show, and being able to work with him, so cool. I mean, just like so incredible. Say it again.
Forgive my ignorance, but who is he?
No, that's okay. He's literally the music director behind pretty much anything you can think of. The Super Bowl, Lollapalooza, like he works with everyone. He is incredible. He is like, I was totally starstruck. Like he knows, because when I walked in and I saw and I realized that it was like Adam Blackstone, I was like, oh my God. And he was like, Yaya! And I was like, oh,
wow, he knows your name
hello.
Too. That's it. It's over with.
Yeah, I was like, this is so dope. Yes. So a lot of the highlights were like those little pockets of like getting to know all these people, you know?
Yeah,
it was really cool.
You don't really think about the behind the scenes too much when you're watching something. A lot of times, I remember even when I was little going, like, this is happening live right now, right?
Right. Exactly.
That's how cool and great production sometimes can be, is you're thinking, oh man, I'm finding out as Mama Yaya's finding out, when really it's pre-recorded like months ago, right? And
I cannot confirm that. I cannot confirm that.
That was the hard-hitting question, huh? Oh yeah, the show's still going on. There's semifinals, I think, tonight?
Yep, happening tonight. Yep, yeah, exactly.
And I'm actually going to try to make this a quick turnaround and publish this hopefully by tonight.
Oh, sweet.
You got any predictions for tonight's show? Who do you think is going to move on? Who do you want to move on?
Oh man, I'm trying to. So honestly, all the contestants are so dope. That's the thing. Like, it's really tricky. It's really tough. I'm just kind of like down for the ride and down to support all my friends that I made. Like, I'm like,
everybody.
I'm just trying to chill. I'm like, all right.
So,
because it's hard.
Do you think that this competition, and you can compare it to American Idol, is more based on your actual talent because of the whole alter ego thing, where they're not, you know, associating your voice with the person? But yeah, or do you think, like, even choosing, I don't know if you got to choose your alter ego, but like, did that do you, like, does that help out? Or people associating with the alter ego, or are they just hearing the voice and going with what they hear? You know what I'm asking?
Yeah, no. I totally hear you. So yeah, so with American Idol, you know, they never really showed me except for like a couple shots of B-roll, and my audition never aired or anything.
Right.
But that experience was just completely different than alter ego, like 100%. Like, I felt like even just by being in the top, you know, whatever we were for alter ego, it was like top 20 or something starting the show. It was automatically zoned in to each individual. Like, each of us really got like screen time, and time and attention, and like, you know, zoned into each of our stories. So like, automatically we were given the floor.
Yeah.
You know, whereas with American Idol, I just remember being like, like, what? Like, it was
you get that sense of it's kind of chaotic, you know, in a sense.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, and everybody knows about American Idol and Hollywood Week and how, you know, crazy and chaotic that can get. Like, I don't even think TV does it. Like when you watch it, I don't even think that does it justice. Like it is so intense. It is so intense. And it's so not for the type of musician or artist that I am. Like
Yeah.
I'm not built for that. Like, like at all. Like
I don't think many people are. It's a very stressful and anxiety inducing environment. It's like, I really felt looking into Alter Ego and seeing what they've been producing there, like it feels like a real more relaxed environment, you know. And
Yes.
that's probably because you're singing backstage, but you know, when you came out and performed, I mean, it was almost as, you know, I always want to toot Palooza's horn when you performed there, but you look like you've gained so much experience and so talented up there. You look like a natural, like you belong to be performing in front of a big crowd like that. So was that experience, like performing in front of that crowd, was that really gratifying for you?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You know, it, and yes, like Alter Ego was just so, in comparison, so much more calm, so much more, I'm trying to find the right words, but it resonated more with like how I move,
Yeah.
you know, and how I would want to be, portrayed on television. You know what I mean? Like, even though I was in a tight suit, like, which wasn't, you know, I was like, all right, we'll do this mocap. Like, I'm down, but like, you know?
Yeah, I read the story in the Atlantic. You talked about that a little bit, you know, and if you want, you could, you know, talk a little bit about it more. But you're always talking about body positivity and stuff. So how did that feel like with, you know, all the, you know, the focus on you in that sense?
Right. So, okay, so I'm trying to compartmentalize, right? So we had the mocap suits, which were literally like skin tight. And one of the reasons I did the show was because I was really excited to be like behind the scenes and not really show too much, because I just was like, okay, I just want to like kind of hide and then do whatever. Wasn't really the case. And I was like, oh, okay, we're going to be in a skin tight mocap suit and we're going to have all different angles, right? So like, great. Okay. But I remember every time that I would start to feel like insecure or feel really like, oh my God, what is going on? You know, every time I started to feel that, I was like, yeah, but I'm going to be on television nationally, and I'm going to show any person who might look like me or who might have somebody in their lives that looks like me, it's going to sink into their head that they can do anything that they want to do.
Yeah.
And so I was like, despite my feelings about like if I'm uncomfortable or not, I was like, nah, this is my body. I'm gonna be okay with that. I'm gonna rock it, and I'm gonna show people that it's okay.
Yeah.
You know?
You did a great job. Yeah, honestly, you really nobody from sitting at home and watching, you didn't get that sense that you were not comfortable up there. And you know, everybody has anxiety and certain things they're not comfortable with, but just showing that perseverance, that was big. And you know, I appreciate you opening up about that with us today.
Of course. And you know, another thing too was obviously I want to be a role model for everyone, but I also really want to be a role model for other Palestinians and other, you know, Ashkenazi Jews. Like, you know, that's a big
mentioned
part.
that on the show, right? I think they mentioned that you're Palestinian on the show, didn't they?
They did. And I was so happy about it. I was like literally screaming at the top, you know, because that's like, yes, like I want a win for my people. Like I do. I want it to be, I just want to promote positivity. I mean, you know how stuff is over there. It's just constant chaos, constant pain, constant suffering. And a lot of the time I feel like I can't fix anything. And I feel like you know, it's the struggle. And I'm sure a lot of other, you know, Palestinians and Jews, especially in America, that are dealing with not being in the motherland, feel that like, that feeling of feeling like you can't do anything and you can't help or whatever. And so I felt like just by existing and just by having this experience, I'm hoping that that could do something and inspire, you know, any of my people that, you know, like, I don't know.
So it's
It's a
interesting
lot.
that you say that, because a lot of people that I talk to for the magazine, one of their main motivations is to, you know, show positivity for Palestinians, and also,
Right.
you know, be a kind of inspiration. Like when I talk to Bilal Muhammad, who is a UFC fighter, he walks into every fight with the flag. And so like, it's really like,
Right.
it's really a common theme with Palestinians that they want to show, you know, who they are in a positive light because of how media portrays us on a constant basis, which is why I
Right.
started Palestine in America in the first place too. Um,
Yeah.
and that brings up my next question that I was going to ask you anyway. And just to, you know, for people to know, you can be Palestinian and Jewish, but for your case, your father's Palestinian and he's Muslim, right? And then your mom's,
Right.
you said Jewish, can't pronounce.
No, that's okay. That's okay. No, don't.
You pronounce it. But your mom's Jewish, and like, tell us, how was that growing up? Because to a lot of people, that seems like impossible, right? Like, if you just look at the media, you'd be like, oh my God, this is impossible. But how was it growing up for
Right.
you?
Right. And to clarify, you're absolutely right. You can be both, you know, because I'm not, a lot of people get it mixed up that you're Jewish just by religion and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
The reason that I said Ashkenazi is because like my blood, you know, like I'm literally like Ashkenazi Jewish, like, so yeah, so my dad is Palestinian, mom is Ashkenazi, so I'm the combination of the two. And yeah, it was crazy growing up. It's still crazy. It's, you know, it's the identity crisis is real, bro. Like that, if y'all out here are thinking that I'm like peace, love, and whatever, like, no. It's a whole thing. But I do know where I stand as far as like, you know, human rights goes. Like, I know what I believe in as far as my people. I believe in, you know, it's so tricky, right? Both sides come from so much suffering. That's the one thing that is hella in common, right? So many years of suffering, so many years of just like pain and everything. And so it makes sense that I've had such a shitty life, like,
You
honestly.
can't relax. It's like, I either got to think about what used to happen to my people or what's going on with my people. Like,
100.
There's no.
That's 100%, exactly. And so much of the time I find myself being like, you know what? It's okay for me to just exist and to just do my best to master that. Like, just to be myself and do things that makes me happy, because in doing that, I'm going to try and rewire my DNA so that my family to come, and so that people who are watching can also try and rewire theirs, you know? And I know that a lot of the time it seems silly, right? It's like, okay, well, she's just singing. Like, what is that going to do to help our pain and suffering? But at the same time, making that decision to honor, like, you know, things that make you happy or things that are your passion, and just to literally exist in doing something that you love is healing. You know, again, not just for yourself, but for those around you and for your people and all of that.
Right.
At least that's what I believe in, you know, like it's small little ripple effects that can really create change. And so I'm hoping that, like, you know, that does something eventually, somehow, you know? Yeah.
So what's your origin story then for becoming a singer? You know, people. I'm currently watching like the Wu-Tang show on Hulu, and that's what inspired me to ask this question, because that whole show is like their origin story, you know. So like, what's your origin story? How did you get into singing, and what made you so passionate and so willful in this route?
Right. I remember being really young and, you know, playing around with music, just singing around, it being fun, and just kind of it being like, oh, kids sing, whatever. And then I hit 5th grade, and we had the plays at my elementary school. And I remember getting up on a stage and it being like, we would always like every year we'd have our like musicals that we like whatever, or our not musicals, but our like little class performances, everybody has to do that and stuff. But 5th grade was different because I started to audition for like the play, and that was a big thing, and that was a big deal. And I got the role of the evil stepmother in Cinderella. And then year by year after that, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, I was like in it. I was like, oh my God, this is so fun. I'm getting such a big response from the audience, from my friends and family. Like, I love this. Like, this is so up my alley. Like, oh my God, this feels really like good in my spirit. Like, I want to do this. And, it was also really tricky too, because growing up Muslim, being a woman is not really, like it's a little bit, if like it's
I have a sister, and there's certain things, and we're all trying to rewire that thought process. But yeah, there's
exactly
certain things, and it's not just Muslim community, but I would say conservatives and Muslims fall under that,
conservative Muslim communities. Exactly.
And
that's exactly right.
And I grew up in a conservative Muslim community, so I understand. Yeah, they try to put barriers on what a woman can do, because it's not even about the religion. It's more of what is society going to say? And that's really
exactly
where a lot of our headbutts with our parents come in, right? Like, I can just, with me, I headbutted with my parents on certain things. I saw my sister even like, you can't go to concerts. But
right.
me and her would just end up, I would just tell my parents, oh, me and her are going to go hang out at the museum. And then we end up going, and she's older than me.
Right.
I'm over here finessing to get my sister to go see a show that makes her happy. That shouldn't have how it should be, but that's how we grew up, right? So
that's how we grew up. And I love too that you're doing Palestine in America, because being Palestinian, I'll talk about specifically being Palestinian, growing up in a conservative family, how that is for us, but yeah, like it was tricky, and not just by family members or whatever, but also just from other conservative, it was like, okay, this is sweet now at this age, but like when you get older, you need to know that you can't get up on a stage and sing as a woman. Like that's not okay. And for me, I was like, bet.
Thanks for the motivation.
Thank you for the drive for me to do what I'm gonna do anyway. Like and so it's hard, right? Because you like you have to figure out how to literally stand on your own 2 feet, and support yourself no matter what, despite losing people, including family. Like, it is rough. Like, this is not like breaking these generational curses and breaking these, rewiring this type of thinking. It is not easy at all, but I guess it's doable, right? I'm out here. I'm trying.
You're thriving.
Yeah, you're trying.
You're not to get back to because I kind of want to move on from alter ego, but how does that opportunity arise for you? Can you speak about that? Or is that
how does the opportunity of
like being on the show, is that something that
how did that arise? Like,
yeah, is that something that like your manager helps you get, or you audition for?
Oh, so they reached out to me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Alhamdulillah. They found me. They know me. Like, I was like, and but what's crazy too is a month before I got reached out to, I was like, I would do a show again. I think I would do it. I think I would do a show again, because after Idol, I was like, oh no, never again. Nope. Nope. Never again. And then for whatever reason, I was like, okay, like after the pandemic, things have calmed down. I've kind of moved past it. I know what to expect with shows now. I would do it again. And then immediately, like literally a couple of weeks later, I got an email and I was like, okay, all right.
So
that
obviously
works.
we can't talk about a time frame of when they reached out and when that happened and all that other good stuff.
Yeah.
But that makes me think of your latest release, which was back in March.
Yeah.
Cover art. I love the project. And what inspired that project? And when did you start working on it?
Oh man. So we had a couple of those songs, I think, out already and done, but we really, yeah, we had done a couple covers and had them sort of sitting there for a little bit. And I think what Jake and I really wanted to do was like, have like the first cover album, right, come out. But yeah, I was thinking about like what to call it and what to do. And I was like, oh, that's kind of like cute if I call it cover art, because that makes sense, like, and people are gonna be like, oh, that's cool.
I loved your renditions of certain songs. Like it just,
Oh,
because you put your flair on it, because you have a certain sound that other people
right.
don't have. It's very unique, very
Thanks.
powerful, like a powerful voice, unique. And so it was just like, wow, I like this more than the original.
Oh, thank you.
So
Yeah, I appreciate
I
it.
really like that project a lot. And so,
Sweet.
what made you choose those songs? Are those your favorites or?
Yeah, those are some of my favorites for sure. I'm trying to think. I was just kind of listening the other day. So there's Dig, right? Which is like the mashup. I used to perform that with my band before Jake ever came into the picture.
And
So
Jake,
that was something.
just to cut you off, sorry, but Jake Bass, he's
No.
your producer, manager. Who is he?
Yeah, no, that's okay. Jake Bass is my producer.
Okay.
But he kind of fills in all the other gaps too. He's just we're partners in crime when it comes to that stuff. Like, but for the most part, he's officially definitely my producer. But so before he even came into the picture, Dig, Crazy Spell, Sitting on the Dock of the Bay / Creep. Those were songs that my band and I would do like in Mama Yaya shows and stuff. So yeah. I had always wanted to get them down and get them, happening like on an album so that I could just have them. And then Layla, Return of the Mac, and what's the other one? The other one, what's it called? Seriously? What is it?
Got it out right now on my phone.
Yes, do it. It's not Helena. Helena's the last one. Helena I did in honor of a friend who passed away. And that was one of his favorite songs to sing at karaoke. But Layla, Return of the Mac, wow.
Alina,
wow.
3 a.m. Good Night.
No.
Jake is actually the diva? No, that's
no. Those are the little skits. What's the one before or after Return of the Mac?
You got Layla and then Be My Lover. Oh, Be My Lover.
Be My Lover! Be My Lover!
That's my favorite on the whole album, honestly.
How did I forget the name? So those three were actually pushed by Jake. Jake really wanted to do Layla because his daughter's name is Layla. Nice. So we did that one, and then we did Return of the Mac and then Be My Lover. Those two, though, Jake really wanted to do those vibes for those two songs, and I was down, so.
I really like those songs. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Be My Lover. I can't believe I forgot it. Yeah. So.
But what are you up to now? What's next on the docket for Mama Yaya?
Well, right now I'm having this awesome interview with Palestine in America. So I'm making moves. And let's see. I've got a class at Columbia College. Shout out to Amina. I'm going to be teaching the hip hop class. So I'm going to be doing a master class this Thursday. Jake is coming into town, so I've got that going. And then, we're thinking about doing, I guess I'll say it here first, but we're thinking about doing kind of a tour, like a little mini tour, a couple shows in Chicago, maybe in Detroit, and then we'll see, maybe some other places too. But that's we're trying to kind of make that happen because I want to see people. I haven't really seen people since the pandemic and since the show. So yeah.
We're starting to think of bringing back Palapalooza. It's been almost 2 years since our last show. I mean,
Oh my gosh.
We might need to add you to the lineup.
There in a heartbeat if you'll have me. I would be there in a heartbeat.
The return of Mama Yaya to Palapalooza.
Yeah!
This time you'll ask me, can I bring Safi on stage?
There you go. Safi G, I love you. Is it okay if we have Safi G come up to the stage? I hope that's okay.
As long as, is he Palestinian?
Is he? I think he I don't
know.
Like
Eminem. Oh, he might be white. Is he from 8 Mile? We'll take that as a compliment, though.
I'm sure he would. I love that voice.
He's like, I'm from 8 Mile.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh man.
But yeah, if you'll have me, I'm there. I'm down.
Oh man, I can't wait to break the news that Mama Yaya is planning a tour coming up. So can't wait to break that news. I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down for this interview, Mama Yaya.
Of course, my pleasure.
Where can your fans and people who are just learning about you go to listen to your music, support you, all that stuff?
Oh my gosh, please support me. I would love y'all forever. Hit me up at Mama Yaya Music. So literally all my social media handles are just at Mama Yaya Music, MAMAYAYA Music. And then if you want to find me on any and all platforms, just type in Mama Yaya and I should come up.
Nice. So thank you again. You're listening to the Palestine in America podcast. On today's episode, we were joined by the great, super talented, amazing Mama Yaya. Please go check out the story that we did for the music edition about Mama Yaya. You could check it out at PalestineAmerica.com. Go check out her music. Follow her on Instagram and all social medias. Again, I'm Nader Mahmoud for Palestine in America. Thanks again, Mama Yaya. We'll talk to you.
Thank you, Nader. Thank
you. Peace. See you later, dude.
See you.
Love you. Bye.
I love you too. Peace.